Now, I was saying this to Harry on the Deadline show last week, but I'm definitely up for rechristening the International Dead Zone the International Chill Zone, because that's what it feels like we're very much coming out of, is a bit of a chill period where, the football's been on, and if people score goals, maybe we've had some daily missions, maybe we've picked up some essence, but we're now coming back into the business end of the football. The domestic action is back, and you know what that means. It is time for Road to Glory action. And on the channel, DEGEN season has continued in this one. We are taking the degenerate mark activity to a whole new other level with the Road to Glory stuff, where for this episode, we've just kind of said to hell with it, thrown caution to the wind and given into some of those deadly sins, as it were. In the video today, I'll get you up to speed with what I've been up to. We'll get our Road to Glory team set for the weekend, as well as get you an update of where the strategy's at, because if you've been keeping on top of the content here on the channel, we have been scouting all across European and world football, looking for what the best arm, the next best road to go down for the Road to Glory will be, whether it be France, Germany, Holland, Belgium, or the contender region. So the Road to Glory series at the moment, for the main core stuff that we're going to be talking about in the video today, is quite well set up, and with some of the additions we've degened into, it's maybe just became a little bit more fun, a little bit more appealing. But right after this, we're going to be kicking up a gear, and we're going to be going after more hot streaks, more Road to Glory action across, the pantheon of Sorare football. At any point in the video, if you laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, share and retweet, all the good stuff. Get into the comment section, let me know your thoughts and feelings. And yeah, let's just get stuck straight into this one, because like I say, this is full-on Sorare DEGEN season, guys. I have went out and I have got Legacy Edition Take Kubo to add in to the Sociedad collection. And I know what you're thinking, Quinny, did you not already have a Take Kubo? Yes, we do. We already have one. I also got a Digital Fire Douge Coletta car. And I know what you're sitting there thinking, Quinny, did you not already have a Douge Coletta car? And yes, I did. I then went out and I got a Legacy Edition midfielder Sergio Gomez. And you're probably sitting there thinking, Quinny, did you not have a Sergio Gomez? Yes, I did. I then went out after that and I got a golden ball, or a glitch ball edition of Ori Oscarsson. We didn't have a version of him before, which is nice. And I then went out and there was no special editions of him, so I've got a sealed edition of John Mikel Arambaru, which we can go and open up alongside our Yangel Herrera, who can now be revealed. Now, I was very close, and we've got Carlos Soler to be revealed as well. Chef's kiss. That was not here before I set up to record for the video. We're hoping to get 3 out of 3 special editions out of this. I was going to get a Gonzalo Guedes as well from the market, who had not yet been revealed, but sadly that person could only accept Ethereum, and I don't have Ethereum in my wallet at the moment. So we're almost there with all the pieces of this little limited collection that I guess I'm going to be adopting into the main gallery. And I've went and got all special editions. Now, before I open these, the regular editions, I'm just going to sell them into the market, and we'll just kind of balance that off the spreadsheet, as it were, for the expenses and the cost for the Road to Glory series. But I thought that would be a nice way to kind of kick off the degeneracy, and we'll see. Standard edition. Now, there was only standard editions of this guy on the market anyway, so I bought the one that had the potential. So we might need to have a wee bit more of DEGEN season with Arambaru, perhaps later on. Yangel Herrera is one of my favourite players in La Liga. He's never always fit, doesn't always deliver, but when he does, he does. And yeah, nice picture, nice card. Sadly, no special edition there for Yangel, but King Carlos Soler, come on, give us a special edition for this one. 1 out of 3 here, come on. Oh, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. That's going to lead us down a dark path to go and get those ones filled in. So now, there was actually a page missing from that, because I actually picked up another card. I got a glitch ball and our Barrenechea as well. I know, what am I like, man? But I really want this whole collection. Whatever the cards I do pick up, the Sergio Gomez, that's funny, because yeah, maybe need to move him out to get him swapped around. Same with the Kubo, maybe the XP points or something for being first owner. But I want this whole album, the cards that I do end up getting from it, to all be popping. I want all the lineups that I make for this to all be banging, and I want, whenever this screams its way to the top of any leaderboard or any streak or anything, I want it to shine, and I want it to really pop in a big way. Just noticing this now, by the way, but we always get this with Sociedad cards where some of them don't have sponsors and some of them do. It looks like the late signings got the sponsor on the shirt, whereas the ones that were here already in the summer maybe got the pre-sponsor photos done. But yeah, we're missing a Guedes, we're missing an Oyarzabal. We're probably going to need to swap some regular additions for some specials. And otherwise, this is probably good to go, hot to trot. When it comes to La Liga, especially with the way we're going to be moving on the rest of the Road to Glory series, you know, I'm going to keep Saganikov. I'm going to keep Soria. The other guys, Marin and Mingueza, maybe I move them on. Ferran Torres, I'll probably move him on as well. I'll probably keep Saganikov and Soria just for shits and gigs and whatever. But I'm quite happy for this probably just to go in now for the rest of the season as just like a club strategy and play an A and a B team out of this batch, this squad that I've got. Just for, you know, easiness as much as anything, but also as part of like a lot of strategies that I see you guys out there running, you know, a lot of it does start off or does circulate around a core strategy. And for La Liga, it's one of these divisions where the streaks are quite difficult if you don't have a team banging. You need to be quite proactive with getting the stars in, know who's going to have the smash fixtures and kind of chase them down that way. Whereas Sociedad is an overall operation, our second bottom in the league right now. I just fancy they're going to do way better than second bottom. And if that is to turn, they're going to score more goals, they're going to get some wins. And with the prices being so well suppressed, I just, you know, why not, really? It's kind of where I'm at with this. Now, the Premier League strategy still remains all about business. We do have a classic Robin Roths that I'm giving away on Twitter from when I was in my sick bed to help promote some of the content, so thank you to everyone that got involved in that. But with Pickford, we now have Seni Lamins playing for Man United, it appears, and we also have an in-season Roths. We've got 2 in-season keepers and a classic, so we have a space, we have a vacancy for a classic outfielder. Now, you might remember all the way back at episode 1 of Road to Glory, the first classic card that we picked up was actually João Pedro. We got him for a £5 before he really popped off in the Club World Cup, I think it was, and his price really elevated from there. And we missed out on him. I traded him around to get some other cards in. His price lifted off as a classic. He was amazing, and it was really hard to get him back in. But his price has settled, and it has got back down to being £6 for a classic. So it just felt like it was a full circle moment to bring him back in. Maybe not quite a DEGEN moment as such, but certainly a moment where we can kind of round off those edges. And is he the same kind of level as Grealish? I would say so. The L5 maybe doesn't lean into it. They do have midweeks to worry about, and you know, Chelsea are Chelsea. We do expect them to be top 5, top 6 across the season. So as far as a forward option goes, I looked across the Premier League, and in that kind of under £10 price point, Ekitike, Isak, some of these guys did look kind of interesting, but I just feel that João Pedro is really cheap as well at £6, very affordable for almost anyone, I would say, and is very clearly like the arrowhead forward, I think, for his club. And if things get clicking back into gear, they stop getting people sent off, then that's a very, I don't want to say guaranteed, but I would say assured, outcome that we could get from that. So coming into the weekend for La Liga, we currently have no streaks to go for. Both of our teams have found themselves landing into Division 3, sadly, so we've got it all to do. And yeah, this team is probably going to pick itself quite easily with who we're going to go for in terms of the main team that we're going to be circulating in, as well as the main runners and riders, the players that we're going to use. And really looking at this lineup builder, seeing all these cool cards and all the great versions of them, I'm really happy that I pushed the boat out and went and got all these pieces in, to be honest with you, because this is a game, it is good fun, and especially when it's nice cards. And the thing about the Sociedad collection, like, I grew up really enjoying a lot of La Liga. Like, when I was a kid, and I mean a high school kid, El Clasico was at its peak. Like, El Clasico stopped everything at the weekend. Peak Ronaldo and Messi era and everything that went around that. But La Liga football was really fun to watch, and I loved Valencia teams, I loved Atletico Madrid down the years, and even guys like Deportivo La Coruña. Sociedad's always a club, alongside maybe one or two others that I've been fond of without, I would have never imagined out of all the La Liga clubs that Sorare have that Sociedad is the one that I would have such the strongest footprint with. I say I'm very much more of an Atleti or a Valencia kid at heart. But the one thing I always have loved about any of these clubs in La Liga is normally some of the players that they've got at their disposal. And that's the thing about this Sociedad collection, it's just really all of the players. I just think they're brilliant. So I love putting them in teams together. And away to Celta Vigo, we have to captain Brais Mendes, don't we, former club. I think that's going to be a good one for Sociedad. No midweeks, Celta Vigo do have midweeks to worry about. And coming out of the international break, being second bottom in the table, you've just got to hope that, or I've just got to hope certainly anyway, that Sociedad get their act together and pull their finger out, as it were. Look at that team, by the way. Look at that team. Now, we're not sure if Takikubo's going to start this after the international break. He probably will feature quite well, but this is what I'm driving at with this. I want, fair enough, we've not got the Sorare shining away there, but I want to have a bit of fun with some of these limiteds. I'm spending my disposable income, as it were, on these Road to Glory strategies for the purposes of Road to Glory, to hit the streaks, to win tournaments, to go up the divisions, etc. But, I like shiny things. I like things that are a little bit nicer, and when you're spent, especially because I've degened into some of these, I've buying some copies and I'll need to list the other copies out on the market. Let's make it worthwhile, let's make it cards we can really bank into. And normally that kind of attitude I've got, I normally display that towards like classic cards, or whenever a team has like won the cup. Charlie, who does the editing here on the channel, last year Newcastle won their first cup in forever, and it was one of the things I was saying, is like, man, that collection that's something now, because of the cup win and everything that goes around that. And we've had tons of examples of that in Sorare, of course. Leo winning Liga, and Napoli winning the Scudetto, AC Milan winning a Scudetto for the first time in ages. We've had lots of things like that happen. But, in the here and the now, before anyone wins anything, getting jersey numbers, getting special editions, getting, copies of cards that you guys, I've really enjoyed this guy's career, or I think this guy could do even more in their career. It's the way to go for me. When it comes to the Premier League, we've got a Division 1 team as well as 2 Division 3. So this is part of the reason I wanted to make sure we got that extra classic power in here, because for Division 1, this is the priority lineup. Make no mistake about it. We've got Robin Roths in the Sunderland defence are going to be taking on Wolves, which is great. And we've got Lamens taking on Man United, and the other in-season goalkeeper kind of picks itself, doesn't it? Now, we do have a little bit of the Andy Robertsons and the Aaron Hickeys. I think Hickey's injured, that could come into this strategy now. If you don't know how we got these cards, or you don't know what's going on, you'll need to catch the video that went out earlier this week, how to progress from limited to rare, to see how we picked them up. I think it'll be Mukiele with our boy Robin Roths. Now, as you guys know, we've got João Pedro, we've got Newcastle versus Chelsea, which makes this midfield selection that we're going to have for this maybe a bit tricky, because I'm probably going to want to play João Pedro against Ange Postecoglou, and I would love to play Reinaldo in here, although I'm not sure if he is back from suspension or not. Yeah, he's not going to be, is he? Yeah, this is international football. It looks like a 3-game suspension he's picked up, but yeah, we're not going to let that affect us. We're just going to go for the players we expect to score the best, which is Gibbs White and Elliot Anderson. And I think we'll probably take Elliot Anderson as captain, just with set pieces and all the rest of it. We get over the cap bonus. We get the multi-club, but we don't get the cap. And yeah, we bit of a conflict there. But again, Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea, it could be 2 each, could be 5-2, 4-1, could be any number of scorelines. So I'm not going to let that put me off. The second team, we want to have the Grealish in this. So Lamens and Grealish are almost going to be like a semi-little pair for us. Having Lamens in here, actually, Truefair, I've kind of overlooked him there for a moment with that midfield. So we'll keep Elliot Anderson in there as the midfielder, and we'll put Truefair in here as the second defender, playing Palace, because I think that's a good fixture for him. And yeah, we've got a minor conflict. We're kind of watered that down now, which is good. But yeah, we can go Lamens and goals for the second team. We don't have any classic... I do have classic defenders in my main strategy. Is there any of them I would think about using for this? Maybe Botman is halfway usable, but again, at this stage, I'm not sure. I would want to be banking on that. We've got Jake O'Brien. We do have Andy Robbo. We're going to be going with Gibbs White in mid and Dye up front with classic Grealish. That's the way this is going to build out. So, yeah, we might want to play the Robbo here. Again, over the cap bonus, not in the multi-club. And again, I don't really mind how this is built out, because I do think that, like, Lamens could do alright. Like, with the no free goals. Will Liverpool score free against Man United the way they're at right now? Maybe not. Lamens can get some really good AA without a clean sheet, so that's no problem. We're just really hoping for Robbo to start. It feels like he's going to get the start, to be honest with you, just with the way things have been going with Kerkez, etc. I think that'll pan out. I think both of our teams will pan out. I think we've done the best thing here by picking individuals. We're not thinking about team stacks and who's playing who. Sorry, not Robin. We want Pickford in here, because we're going to have to... Yeah, this last team's going to be a wee bit troublesome. That defence stack could do okay. We're going to go with Harvey Elliott in here. Not really sure if he's going to start. And then we've got Ndoye and Jesus or Wood. I'm going to go with Wood. Jesus, sorry, I beg your pardon. Might as well captain Pickford, by the way. Under the cap, multi-club bonus in our Division 3 team there. So between one of them, we hope that... Did you see that wee glitch? That's funny, isn't it, why it's doing that? One of them can get out of Division 3 and into Division 2, which would be nice. And for the D1 team, if we have a look, at the moment, there's maybe going to be about 1,000 entrants into this division. We're hoping to get into the top 100. I think we've got a nice differential potential with the Sunderland defence, the Trufair, and again, João Pedro, Elliot Anderson. I think they could individually score pretty well. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that. We can get into the top, well, it says here, top 2,000. So yeah, let's see how many entrants. Can we maybe... so last time we got promoted into Division 2, so I won't have the numbers there from my last game week in particular for this. But yeah, I feel like we're in a good spot to get on the first streak for Premier League, and we're probably in a really good spot. I think Sociedad, as long as they win, that's half the battle. If Sociedad win, we've got enough of the elements here where one of these teams should be streaking, if not, fingers crossed, hopefully both of them. And guys, how sick did they look again? Seriously, I love the fact we've got a few different of the additions. I like the fire one. Wee bit gutted we've not got a Sorare, etc. out those pools. I thought out of those pools, but out the Yangel and the Aramburu, I thought surely we're going to get one of them special edition, but we didn't. And with the Premier League now, like, I am quite sensitive to the fixtures here. Like, Forest haven't really been who I thought they were, or hoped that they were going to be. With the we first bought those cards, obviously they had Nuno, now it's Ange. It's a bit of a different. I thought it'd be better. It's actually got worse, sadly. Sunderland guys have been on the money, which has been nice. Everton guys have been on the money, which has been nice. But we just need to really now get a couple of game weeks where our best five, our main five, are kicking ass and taking names. And we'll see how this shakes out with the next couple of game weeks. Because I do feel that after this international break, a lot of set rhythm and teams will come into this. And really, like, with the lack of unadulterated success that we've had with these two strategies, I'm really looking forward to the next arm of the Road to Glory series that comes out being lean, mean and ready to win, like straight out of the gate, you know. So we've had good fun so far. We've did Belgium, we've did Holland, we've did Contender. All of those streams are on the, and one of them's a video, are on the channel now. You can catch them. And at that point of recording, by the time you're watching this, it's probably been done, but we still have France and Germany to tackle as well. So be sure to check the live streams tab on the channel homepage, and you'll be able to see deep dive scouting videos where we go into these regions in a lot more detail. If you're at that stage where you're looking to get your Road to Glory up and running, you're looking to diversify into a different competition, or you're looking for a fresh take maybe on a competition you're already playing perhaps. Let me know down in the comment sections if you think I'm going to hit one or both of these streaks. Are we going to get anywhere near the leaderboards? Will any of these teams get promoted? I'm always interested and excited to see what your guys' thoughts and feelings are on the strategies as they unfold. On screen and now some other stuff that we've made that the YouTube thinks you might enjoy. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe for more content like this. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one.